Testing. Is this thing on? What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Outside the Clutch. This is going to be a fun one. Episode 54 with my sister from another mister. I've had a great pleasure in this industry getting to know Miss Anna and being pushed by her, as I hope I kind of push her back a little bit to be better, because she does it to me constantly. We're going to have a little fun. Hey, new intro. I hope you guys liked the intro. Go down in the comments below. Let me know what'd you think about it. It's a little bit different. It was a little bit more me feel, not so little warm fuzzies, but more shredding, more rock and roll vibe. I think that's more my personality. So I figured it was time to switch it out. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Let's see who's here real quick, and let's make Anna just kind of sweat it out for a second. I'm super excited to just see what happens tonight. I think this is gonna be a really good one. Arvin, this dude don't miss. What's up, buddy? Thanks for popping in. Randy, Dark Cloud, hope you guys are ready for that one. We're gonna have a round two. Randy has some rants. I think we're gonna call that session Randy's Rants. I'm not sure. We might jump into some crazy stuff when he comes back on. Who we got? Wayne and Alice, Serpentine. What's up, y'all? Yanni, thanks for waiting. I hope you enjoyed this one. Jim, I'm so bad at this. Jim and his brother-in-law from Ectothermic. Love y'all. Hope you guys enjoy this. I'm going to get called out for that one because I should know this. It's been so long. I'm going to get a lot of crap for that. Will's hella heat. What's good, dude? I'm waiting. I've seen you build it up. I'm waiting for that first episode to drop, man. Got to do it soon. Lou Balls. What's good, my dude? Glad to see you back. Always a good time. Drop side. That's family. He comes a long way, but that's family, man. I love that family very, very much. Just great people. Look forward to every Arlington with them. Tammy from Tamethyst. How you doing today? Let's see. Who else is in here? Jesse. What's up? How you doing? Royal Goofballs. Mike from May Reptiles. How you doing? Thanks for joining us. We're gonna, as you guys come in, hey, do me a favor. Go ahead and hit that like, hit that share out. Let's get this out. Let's make sure Anna gets some due love. I want to definitely get those likes racked up for her today. If you feel like supporting the show in any manner, hey, you could throw a super chat, or you could just send me a message afterwards. Like, honestly, the money's great that I receive from these, but you guys saying and putting input on what I'm doing, what we could do better, what you like about the shows actually means more to me than anything I'll ever make on this, more than likely. Well, let's be honest. It's the truth. So let's kind of jump into this. Hardee's, I see you. You weren't forgotten. As people jump in, we'll pop them up on the screen. We'll give them their due love. Let's jump into this, though. All right. So y'all know I'm all about taking care of animals the best that you can, all about being the best that you can. I believe there's just a vast expansion that needs to happen within the reptile industry, where we can be better in all aspects. And you can't have proper husbandry, and you can't do advancements in your husbandry if you don't have the right tools. Here at Outside the Clutch, we're honored to be sponsored by VivTech. Are you ready for innovation? Tired of the same boring product that's been used for 30 years? Ready to give your reptiles and amphibians the UV they really deserve? Then look no farther than VivTech. Their 3-watt LED bulbs provide the UV rays your animals have been missing. With 3 bulbs to fit your pet's climate needs, plus a dimmable feature, it's the only bulbs we use for UV. And it's the only bulb with a 2-year warranty in the industry. Plus, now you can monitor all your pet's husbandry from your phone 24/7 with their sensors, and even ship your customers' animals in their custom bags. So what are you waiting for? Go to VivTechProducts.com today. Use code FCLUTCH0322 for 15% off. and provide your animals the best care they've ever had. And you know how I feel about the cocoa life. There's only one cocoa for me. I use it for my reptiles. I use it for my backyard, my plants. I like to shower in it every now and then. You guys have seen it. I kind of do it. I don't know. Something's wrong with me, but it is what it is. There's only one coconut to use. Are you ready for the best coconut substrate in the game? Then you gotta get ReptiChip. First off, it's America's chip because it's veteran owned. Secondly, why wouldn't you want the best cocoa chip for your animals? Go to reptichip.com, use code FEELYCHIPPIN for 10% off up to 3 breeder blocks, or your entire order of Easy Hatch trays or any Redline Science equipment on the site. Limit 1 coupon per customer. Or reach out to me as a representative in the El Paso area, and don't forget to join the Reptilution, where all profits go to helping those in need within the reptile community. And finally, Show Me Snakes. Mickey does a freaking bang-up job at everything he does. I really like these shows. I'm enjoying them a lot. They actually have one in St. Louis this weekend as we're speaking. Definitely missed that one. Gonna have to wait or find a way to get out to one of these Missouri shows. They're gonna be in Shelbyville, Kentucky, and Orlando, Florida next weekend. That's gonna be a good one. I'm looking forward to that. Bloomington and Davenport, Bloomington, Illinois, and Davenport, Iowa, are the following weekend on the 15th, 16th, and North Kingston, Rhode Island. They're expanding all over the place. Have you been to a Show Me Snake show? Go down in the comments and let me know if you've been to one. Let me know if you plan on attending one. Let me know if you have been to one, which one you think I should go to, because I want to go to more than just the Texas ones, obviously. And I'm going to throw it out there. If you're anywhere near Texas and you're not afraid of driving, you're not afraid of doing anything, we have a show in El Paso the 29th and 30th of this month. So if you're willing to make the drive, you're in Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, what have it. What's next to Texas the other way? Oklahoma. I think it's Arkansas. I should know this. Yeah, Arkansas. There we go. Come check out the show. I think it's going to be a great time. We're growing it. Local spots just building up, and I'm really excited for it. Definitely excited to see what he does in the future. Now, with that being said, I think I've stressed her out enough. I think we're going to have some fun now. We're going to get this out of the way. We're probably going to make her sweat a little bit, guys. That's my job, right? As a host, I should definitely make her a little bit nervous, make her uncomfortable. And no, I'm just kidding. So this is her very first podcast that I know of. We'll find out here in a second, but I'm pretty sure this is her very first podcast ever. No one else has got her. This is a special just outside the clutch. I want you to give it up for Miss Anna Kirby of AK Morphs.
It is the first, I think, for the podcast. Maybe. I don't know.
How you doing, Anna?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. I'm excited for this. This has been a long time coming. I know we talked about it for, what was it, like 3 months or something like that. And I was like, I want you on.
I kept telling you
don't go to anyone else's podcast until you come here.
And I kept telling you no. And then Robert was like, you need to do it. You need to do it. At Arlington, he's like, look at him. You need to go do this for him. And I said, fine, I'll go do it. I hate podcasts, but fine. So you got me. Here I am.
Man. All right. Are you ready for this? We're going to jump into it.
Give it.
It is Gabriel's birthday, so I put on a time limit today. So if I ramble, yell at me, people. Yell at me. We're going to try to bring you all the things we want to bring you. So, Miss Anna, you have lived a very full life before you came to the reptile industry. You've done all kinds of things, and here outside the clutch, that's what we're about. We're getting to know the people behind the brand. So, tell me, what turned you into who you are today prior to reptiles?
Probably mommy and daddy issues, if you want to be honest. I mean, that's where it all comes from. I didn't have friends. I was fat, and I just liked making men cry.
So you haven't changed. No, I'm just kidding. At least the making men cry part. That's one of my favorite parts in the stories on Instagram.
Oh my God. Whew.
I love
my
watching.
My DMs are a little crazy. God.
Someone's gonna get me on that clip too because I said so you haven't changed, and they're gonna be like, John just called Anna fat. I wasn't calling her fat. Oh no. John ruined it. Thank you. All right. So mommy and daddy issues, but what kind of environment did you kind of grow up in, or like what caused you to have the quirkiness that you do now?
Well, so I didn't speak until I was 6 or 7 at all. So I wasn't verbal. Rated really high on that autistic scale. I had to go to a private school. I don't really remember much of my childhood at all. My parents got divorced. I have older siblings that I don't really know. Like, well, I do know them, but they weren't around the house when I was growing up. And so really I was just left alone a lot by myself and didn't really have anybody. And that's how it's really ever been. I guess the quirkiness just comes with talking to myself a lot.
Well, I mean, you had to find someone to talk to, and so you found yourself. I mean, that's a good thing. Like,
it is. The voices in my head tell me it's a great thing.
A lot of people really enjoy that on your YouTube channel too. So.
Oh yeah, and my strange words that I come up with.
So if you follow Anna on Instagram, you might know this, or if you've given her any of your time in your life, you might know that she had a very very lucrative career in doing something else before ball pythons. And so we're going to jump into that and kind of how that blossomed into adding to the personality that she has today. So
you make it sound like I did porn.
Know. I don't know. I didn't search that far.
Oh God.
So a lot of people probably don't know, but you were a professional gamer before you jumped into the ball python game.
I was.
Tell us how you kind of came into gaming and some of the things that just really made you enjoy that aspect of your life.
So I grew up playing video games, and my whole family did. And it's one of the few things that I can remember, like my dad being in an RV driving us from Georgia to Texas, and he had a Super Mario or Nintendo, Super Nintendo in the back, and we would play Super Marios and stuff. And so I always grew up playing video games. And then when I was 9, so sweet Jesus, hold on, what's math? It's coming. 2000? Maybe 2001, Xbox came out with the original Halo CE. And my brother, who is 8 years older than me, that's what him and his friends would play. And I kind of want to be like, that's my big brother. I want to go hang out with my big brother. And so before Xbox Live and all of this bullshit came out, you had something called Xbox Connect, XBC. And so it was basically Xbox Live before it was Xbox Live. And so you could play with people across the world and all this stuff. And so my brother and his friends would play this game. And if I wanted to hang out with them, I had to learn not to die quickly. So I would get up around 2 or 3 in the morning and go play Halo by myself on the campaign. And I increased the difficulty every time. And finally I got to Legendary, where I could kill the monsters or whatnot, the aliens and the grunts and everything. And finally I told my brother, I was like, hey, I want to play. And he's like, you can't play. And I was like, I bet you I can. And I remember I had to pay him money to go down in the basement and play Halo with him and his friends. And then I kicked their ass. And his friends were very pissed. And he was pissed. I got kicked out of the basement. But after that, when my brother's friends weren't there a few times, he would let me come down and we would play like 1v1 or 2v2 or whatever and play Xbox Connect. And so eventually they started doing tournaments instead of LAN tournaments. They actually had tournaments. And it was the AGP and Halo 50K were the main people who hosted these competitions. And the AGP and the Halo 50K actually turned into Major League Gaming. That's where MLG came from. And so you had these people, and they were called Uber. That was their team name, and they were like Uber Cadet and Uber Gunner and all this stuff. And they'd go and play competitions. Well, I was Uber Gunner for I guess 2 years until CE. And then when Halo 2 came out, my brother and his friends kind of like just quit. Like that was it. And so the new Xbox came out. Xbox Live finally came out. MLG started finally becoming a thing. And I started doing local tournaments and stuff, and I was winning them. I was actually really good. My brother didn't give two shits. He was like, that's just my little sister, blah, blah, blah. And so I finally was like doing well enough. And funny story, okay, just to give you a glimpse of my childhood. So I am, what, at this age, like 11 or 12, super autistic, have no friends. I'm 280 pounds. Like, I'm a goober. If you look at me, you're like, that's a fucking goober right there. Okay, no one wants to deal with that. Well, so being who I am, I'm on the internet. I'm on forums. I'm chatting up. I'm like, yeah, I'm an 11 or 12-year-old girl, blah, 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 blah. I still do that. No recollection of the dangers or anything because I'm just stupid. Just straight up dumb. And so there was a guy and his wife who were like, come to this tournament and, you know, meet us in person, come to this tournament, have your mom meet us, blah, blah. So my mom takes me to go to this tournament, which was like an hour and a half away from my house. It was at some university or something. It was Halo 2. I had known this guy now for maybe like a year and a half. My mom takes me to this campus. She meets him, shakes his hand, gives him and his wife $20 and was like, bring her home when you guys are done. And just YOLO's out. Never met this dude, nothing. And I was just looking at her.
Hold on, though. That was the safety of our day growing up. It was like, parents were very nonchalant, just like, oh, you'll make it home. Nowadays, you can't pull that, but like,
she'd still
when we were growing up.
So they dropped me off at this whole thing. And then I actually get disqualified at that tournament after making it to the finals because someone told them that I had sponsorships before. And so I got taken out of it. And I was like, that's fucking bullshit. And so the guy who I would have crushed easily, just massacred, was like, then he lost and I started laughing. But just to give you an idea about it. And then the next month, I get asked to come to Brooklyn, New York for this guy's gaming center to open up and come over there and play Halo for him. And my mom was like, yeah, no, let's go to Brooklyn. Let's just go. She puts me in a limo and we go to Brooklyn and it's me and like 40 dudes and she YOLO's out. I've never been to New York and I made the flight attendants laugh on the plane because I was like, where are all the trees? Didn't know what New York City meant. Like, I didn't comprehend it. And so I was just retarded for that statement about asking where the trees were. But I just get left. They left me in different states before at the Welcome Center. Like, my family has literally just driven off. So y'all want to know why I just it's because I'm used to it. I'd probably leave Robert if I could. If I drove somewhere, I'd be like, bye, Robert.
Nice. To be fair, my parents had to do that to me to teach me lessons when I was a kid. Like, I very specifically remember being left at the local Walmart for about 20 minutes when I was about 10 to 12 years old. I can't remember the exact age. But I was looking at toys, and I didn't want to listen when they said it was time to go. So they went home. They put all the groceries away, came back and picked me up.
Oh, no. I never got that. They didn't even purposely leave me. They just forgot.
Well, no, I had to go to customer service. They called over the intercom and they're like, we're not getting a response. Do you know your phone number? And so I had to call home through customer service to be like, hey, Mom, are you guys
are you gonna come get me?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I kind of grew up.
Nice.
Kind of.
So your go-to was Halo then?
Yeah, so I played Halo professionally for 6 years. A long time. And people will go, well, how do you know you're a professional? If you get paid to do something, even with sponsorships, you're a professional. Okay, just say that right now. Come at me, son. Okay.
So what was in all that time for 6 years? Who was like that nemesis for you that like when you played against them in the league, you were just like, this is the person that gets under my skin, or this is the person that I have to figure out a way to beat?
I would almost say call me God. That guy really fucking got under my butt. And he's a big chunky boy too, and he just pissed me off all the time. That's true.
What was it about him? What? No, you're good. You're good. What was it about him? It was just like the way he played. Did he play dirty or
no? He would just look at
for
me.
No reason.
He would look and squint his eyes and go, "Okay, Lady Penis." Because before it was Dangerous Cutie, I went by Lady Venus, and so the nickname around that was Lady Penis.
So that was the best. Like
that was the best thing people came up with. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Lady Penis.
So if you weren't playing Halo, like I assume you still play video games to like decompress even when you were a professional gamer, right?
No. So when you are a professional gamer, and I don't think people understood this about professional gaming, because nowadays if you tell someone you're a professional gamer, like they kind of give you respect. Okay. 10 years ago, you could say I'm a professional gamer and people would be like, okay, cool. What do you do for a living? Like, what's your real job? What people don't realize about it back then was you were playing 16 to 19 hours a day, and then you were sleeping. And if you watch, what's a good team? League of Legends right now on PC, and you watch like the PC gaming tournaments with Korea versus like Australia or something, those people are on a strict 12 to 16 hour rotation for practice. And then they have their health coaches in there that make them do their fitness and stuff. And it's a lot of work. And so like, thank God I can't feel my hands because I have arthritis out the ass now playing that controller. But most of my days, like I gave up in school in 7th grade. I was done. It's not going to happen. I was bullied too much. Like I had quit. But gaming, you really did put in more hours than you would do at a normal job. And then you still didn't get half the recognition. And then you didn't get paid if you didn't place high enough at tournaments. And if sponsorships paid you based on how you performed, you either didn't get paid or you didn't. And this is all before Twitch and stuff came. So you couldn't get paid for streaming. And like, look at that Tyler loser right now. Look at Ninja. You guys know how squirrely that little fucker used to be on Halo before he became like this big Twitch streamer? Blow my mind, please. God.
What do you think it would be like for all the people just coming in now? Because like you've had kind of the professional gaming experience, you've had a YouTube and social media presence now, built that up. Like if it was built that way when you were a professional gamer, what do you think it would have ended up being?
Like if it was nowadays?
Yeah. Like if you were going through all that now and you had the knowledge that you do with your ability to build your social media and like being able to stream constantly versus just sponsorships.
Wait, I'm going to ask you this question before I answer it. Am I fat in this scenario or am I attractive? See, now you got to think about that because that's two different answers.
Play the devil's advocate. Do both sides of the coin.
Okay, so let's say I was morbidly obese like I was back then. I wouldn't even do it. Absolutely not. There'd be no point. I would just get ridiculed, bullied, self-talk. I'd be told to probably go kill myself numerous times on social media, even though I get that right now. But it would have been 100% worth because regardless of what people will tell you, sex sells. I'm attractive. It's going to sell. And it's going to sell if I play video games on Twitch. It's going to sell snakes at shows. I'll pop out my boobs if I have to and make them look appealing if it helps because it works. Sex sells. People knows that. It's all in marketing and advertising. I don't even want to know what the comments are right now. But if I was fat and obese and looked like a whale right now, it would be like I wouldn't even go for it. There'd be no fucking point. Attractive though, fuck yes. Put on a little cami tank top. Meow. I'll fucking just give me that money. I'll be an e-girl or whatever it's called. I can do that. And still make you cry. It would probably be, I'll probably get paid for that too. Men like that. Some men I know personally. Huh. This is fun.
The baby. Fragile ears over here, Anna.
Sorry.
It's okay. You're good.
Didn't like me being fat either. You see what I mean?
Outside of Halo, what was your favorite game to play?
The Sims. Oh my god, it was fun to trap people inside a little room and set them on fire. Not that I did that with people specifically. Or the Elder Scrolls. That was also a good one. I never played 1 and 2, but I started Morrowind, and that was a good one. I like the Elder Scrolls. And Call of Duty, of course. The Sims. That Barbie horse riding game.
He's super happy right now. He wants
I can hear. He said, "Let me in. I want to see Anna too." It don't matter. Men love boobs regardless, hairy or not.
Baby meltdown. Baby birthday meltdown. It's all good. So let's jump into the other side of it. I think we talked about how things sell. Let's talk about your other passion besides just video games. You have, oh my Lord.
I feel the same way. I know. I felt like that all day.
Okay, well, here we go. You have something else besides just video games now that takes up a decent amount of your time. You've shown your passion for it, and you can't really see it anywhere but in your story. So let's talk about what took you from like a city type girl into moving where you are and building your I don't know how I want to put this, your
empire,
your little Garden of Eden. Essentially.
Well,
your
I've never
mutilation ranch, your
my sanctuary.
Your
That's
sanctuary.
What it is. Yeah. Well, I've never been a city girl. I always grew up with animals. I've always had a love for animals. Like, I even ordered ducks and had them delivered through the post office. When you could still do that, McMurray Hatchery. Anyone who wants a duck for, I don't know, Easter. But I had ducks delivered. Like, I've had all different crap sent to me in the mail. But I grew up riding horses, and I did equestrian for a while. And I guess what happened now was...
Okay, hold on. You said you did equestrian?
Yeah.
Did you do English or Western?
I was taught both, but it was mainly an English facility. Western's only found really, I would say, in the Texas, I don't know what kind of state this is, South states, but not Southwest? Like Georgia. Yeah, fine, whatever. Southwest, who cares? This general area, not up here, not over here, not at this one. But in Georgia, it was mainly English that was taught. You could do Western. Actually, I had to pay more of a fee to do Western because I didn't have saddles. So the one thing I do like about Western, besides it being more relaxed and just looks cooler, in my opinion, is I don't have to go buy those dumbass pants and the boots to be an English rider. I don't know. Take offense to English riders, if any English riders in here. I think Tommy might be the only one who would understand that. But I hated having to go buy the attire because, again, I'm fucking fat. You couldn't fit into anything. You just looked like some goddamn marshmallow. It was that's how I felt.
So we had the first college that I went to right out of high school, we had an equestrian team, and I had a couple of friends that rode on that team, but I think they all did English. Or no, I'm sorry. We had one that did Western, and I don't think she did very many events with them though. She went more the sorority lifestyle than the equestrian lifestyle. But
there's nothing wrong with that. However, that works out for people.
So you created your sanctuary, and you've now built it to quite the species, or multitude of species. So let's talk about the horses real quick and like what you do, because I really love it. I wanted to push it a little bit more, but someone said their website's under construction. So,
well, oh my gosh. Oh, okay. So how it really started was 2 years ago. I came across something on Facebook, and it was a kill pin, and I was like, "What is a kill pin?" See, Tommy knows what I'm talking about. But I came across something called kill pins, and I never knew what they were, and so I kind of did like this deep dive at like 1 a.m. Shut up, Hardy. And when I looked at it, I was like, "Wow, these horses are really cheap, and you could just go and buy one." And so what happened was, I raised up money to save a horse, and we were trying to get the original horse that we were trying to save was from Bowie horse auction. And the horse actually got saved by a different rescue. And so I had raised up like $1,400, and I was just like, let's go save another horse. Okay. Now put a pause on this. Robert has no idea what I'm doing. He has no idea I've raised money. He has no idea Anna's looking at horses. He knows that I've been seeing horses, has no idea I'm going to buy one. So I reach out and I see this horse, and it comes across, and it's Lilith's kill ad, and her kill ad was like lot number 2974 or something. It should have been 666 because this horse is a demon. And like her ad said like Percheron X quarter horse cross. In my head, I'm like, I know what a Percheron is, and I know what a quarter horse is. And they say gray. Well, she looked brown in her photos, and she was. But I was like, a gray Percheron is a dapple Percheron. And I was like, ooh, I like dapple. So I reached out and I was like, hey, do you think this horse would be suitable for someone who has never owned a horse? And the guy was like, absolutely not. You'd be better with this old black horse over here. This one, has been out in the pasture for a year, needs a little refresher. But I mean, if you really want to put the time into it, you can take her. And I was like, done deal. So I bought Lilith, and Lilith came out to be like $450. Not bad for a horse. Not as expensive as her training would cost me for the last 2 years. So we go and buy this horse. I buy the horse, and then I go and find a quarantine transporter who will take her for 30 days. And then I find someone later, like the next day, I'm like, hey, I have this horse I just bought from a kill pen. She's going to go to quarantine for 30 days. Can I board her here at your facility and get her trained? They're like, yeah, done deal. So I have now set up, I bought the horse. I've set up 30 days for quarantine, and I have enough money for the first 30 days of this board training thing that's happening. Okay. So I buy the horse. I'm ecstatic. I look over to Robert. I go, hey, I bought a horse. And he goes, no, you didn't. I was like, yeah, I did. Look, here she is. Here's the receipt, blah, blah, blah. And Robert's like, oh my fucking God, why would you do that? We have no money for this, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, we raised money. I saved a horse, blah, blah. 2 days later, I get laid off. So it was just a very fun thing for me, which that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me in my life, is being laid off by that shit ass company. Not the point though. So we see Lilith. We finally get to go out after 2 weeks that the transporter picked her up. This horse is scared shitless of everybody. She's been extremely abused. She hates men. She hates men with hats. Like her halter had been tied to the tightest knot that it could be, where it had grown into her skin. Severely abused. She has a number 13 stamped into her ass. She had strangles. Like, she just had all this shit happening. And so the people who went and picked her up for transport in quarantine were like, hey, this horse has never been handled before. When we went to go see her, they had a rope around their neck because they couldn't even get close to her on the halter. It was just, it was just a lot. Well, so then after her 30 days of quarantine, they brought her over to this training facility that's no longer there in Cedar Hill. Now, to give people a perspective, from where we were living to Cedar Hill, it was an hour and a half drive for me. So Lilith gets dropped off the night before I actually go out there and see her, and they put her in this stall. And when I get there the next day, this horse is in the back corner. She won't let anyone get to her. She wants nothing to do with anybody. She's not halter broke. And the trainers were like, this horse is like wild. This is a feral horse. Like, this is going to take longer than what we originally thought. And I said, that's fine, blah, blah. So I got laid off the next day. And so the day I got laid off, like I was up there for 8 hours. And I probably was at this training facility for 8 hours every day for the next 4 months. And all I was doing was just reading Harry Potter to this fucking horse who wanted nothing to do with me, absolutely just hated me, despised everything. But eventually during those 4 months, she finally got annoyed because I would go into like the little voices. I'd be like, and Mr. Harry Potter would like to come to Hogwarts. And she really hates British voices. I found out like she would snort every time I went into a British voice. And I was like, oh, someone's got a little personality, doesn't she? And so I eventually was like told I need to go put this halter on her and stuff. And so I halter broke this horse. Had no idea what I was doing. I went in there, halter broke this horse. I was reading stuff up on horses. Like I would have, besides Harry Potter, I would go and get like equestrian knowledge books, and I'd be sitting there reading out loud to her. And the reading out loud didn't just help her get used to my voice and know who I was, but it was also helping me with my speech still, since I still have issues with it. And I'd be like reading something, and I'd be like, huh, isn't that funny? That's something you don't fucking do. Are you a normal horse? Like I just talk shit to this horse. And this horse would talk shit back to me. She would just snort at me. It was just our thing. So eventually, I finally convinced the vet to come out there and stab her. So she got sedated, and she finally had her teeth done. And she had never had her teeth floated. It turns out she was between 4 and 5, never had her teeth floated. So her teeth in her jaw had actually grown into her jaw, so she couldn't open it all the way. So that was one of the reasons why she didn't want anyone touching her face, because she was just in pain. And then the same day that happened, what was it? The same day that she had her teeth float. Oh, we had the teeth float was after the vet. The vet came and actually did her shots and stuff. And then it was the dentist who told us like she had never had her teeth floated. And so she's 4 or 5. She finally gets her teeth fixed. She has all her vaccinations. And at this point, we were debating if we were ever going to get a farrier on her, because her feet had never been trimmed either. And that wasn't something that we were going to like worry about at that time. So over the course of like the next 9 months of me spending probably $6,000 keeping her here for training that wasn't happening, and me just getting fed up with these fucking idiots. I was literally out there training this horse without any knowledge, learning from mistakes, going back to books, doing all this stuff. And eventually it came to a point where Lilith has become a one-person horse, and I am her person. And she says, fuck you to everybody else, which is fantastic, except for when I need something to happen, and she looks at me like, I ain't fucking doing that. I'm like, you're such my child. I just go beat your ass. And she just looks at me like, bring it. Do it. Do something. But it's just a very comical horse. She's become a lot more approachable now. Even on the farm, she'll actually come up to the fence now, and she'll let people, finally pet her and eat from her hand. Before, she would never do that. And it's just been interesting to see her do 180s every time something happens. Like after her teeth were floated for the first time, like her personality changed. She was like, oh, this person's going to hurt me. And then when we did something else, it was just another 180. She's like, oh my gosh, that feels great. Brush me some more. Here's my ass, brush my tail, all these different things. And then when we finally moved her out of the Cedar Hill location, because those people were shady as fuck, and they were going to take my horse all the way to Rice, Texas, which was 2 hours away without telling me, because they were moving, which I was like, no. So I found this new place, and they came and picked up our horse. This trainer, the horse's trainer, Marco, from this new facility I was boarding at, came up here and just got a lead rope and tied it to her and just walked her into the trailer. And we were all 5 of us were just like watching this, because one, a man came up, just just hooked her. 2, she followed him. And 3, she just went into a trailer. Like, we had never practiced a trailer at all. She just fucking walked into it. I was just like,
that's awesome.
What the but it's been a very interesting.
Is like the stubbornness that you had to deal with her and like all the trials that you had to deal with her, is that what kind of blossomed into rescuing each horse now? And
Oh no. So if there was any sane person who had done the shit I just did with this horse, they would never rescue another horse in their life. They wouldn't have given her up. People would have been like, and as my both parents and my father-in-law have both said, that horse just needs to be glue. She's too dangerous. Like, people have literally, I've had trainers come up and say, this horse is not worth it. You just need to quit. And I was like, if people had quit on me, then I wouldn't be here. So I'm not quitting on this horse. And since she was abused by men and I've been abused by men, I'm like, girl, we got this. I got you. I'm not going to let you go. And I'd feel bad to send her off because I know where she'd end up. She'd end up back at a kill lot and then she'd be slaughtered. And there'd be no point. I spent too much money, John. This horse has cost me a small fucking fortune to not be rideable. Tommy, if you see this, fly your little happy ass down here. Take on this horse. I'll pay you and you train her, because I spent 13 grand in 2 years for trainers to fucking break this horse, and she has 5 rides on her being ponied. It's not even full rides, but I was her first ride, and then she threw me off, which was fantastic. Oh, that's one of my happiest moments with this horse. I at least got to ride her for the first time, and then she's like, no. See, Tommy will do it. Tommy's not scared. But so after rescuing her, I had her for, I got her in June. Yeah, I was like, oh, no, I got her in March. No, I got her in June. I was like, oh, in December, no, might have been February. Something in 20. So I got her in 2020. And then the next horse I rescued was in 2021. And some from the same kill lot. All of my horses have come from the same kill lot except for Odin. But the second horse I got, I saw him at like 5 a.m. in the morning. And this dude was just dead broke. Just full on. He was fancy broke. One neck rein, one hand broke. He listened. And I looked at Robert. I was like, I'm buying this horse. And he's like, no, you're not. I was like, I already sent her funds. It's already done. I already bought the horse. So we went to go get him, and his only real issue, and this happened during NARBC Arlington, like I bought him that Thursday, and then that Friday everyone's like, where are you? What are you doing? I was like, I got a horse. I can't be here. Blah, blah. So that was the show I kept coming in and out of at Arlington because I kept driving everywhere. But we went to go see him, and his only real issue he had was he had laminitis in his front feet. And they had a really good farrier at this new quarantine place that took care of him. And then when we got him back to McDoty Farms in Burleson, because that's where I boarded all of my horses until he moved out here, that dude was solid. He stood still for farrier, had no issues, got along with everybody. And finally we put the saddle on him, and this dude was just dead broke. Neck reins, everything. I could whistle and he would come to me like full on puppy dog. And that's I would say Lilith is my heart horse, but Phantom is also my heart horse, and to the point where Phantom is my confidence booster. You always need to have a confidence booster. So I can fuck up on Phantom and not get dragged. And he'll turn his head and look at me if I'm doing something wrong, and then he won't move until I've adjusted myself. He's one of those horses that teach you. And I like to think that he ended up in the kill pen because possibly his
too smart for his own good.
Well, I think his owner passed away, and the family just didn't want to take care of him. And that's what happens to a lot of these horses: is someone in the family will die, and the family's just like, no, and they send them either to the kill lot or to Bowie. And I think that's honestly what happened, because if this horse had gone through auction, he would have been easily $3,000 or $4,000, and I got him for $600. And that's just, I could put my nieces on him and I don't have to worry about anything like that. This is the safest horse you'll ever have. And then I think the second or third month that we ever had him, someone was like, hey, can we use him for a photo shoot for this little girl's birthday? And they made him into a little unicorn. It was so cute. And so I think after getting Phantom, I was like, I want the old guys. And that's how it transitioned from not just rescuing horses, but going for senior horses, because senior horses, 1, aren't young and dumb, usually. 2, any weird quirks they have, you're going to know about it soon. and quickly. And 3, I mean, they're kind of mellow. They know what they're doing. You don't got to worry about it. And so Odin, who was our 3rd rescue, which this is Robert's only horse that like he saved himself personally, was an off-the-track thoroughbred. And we call him Odin because he's got this massive scar going down the front of his face. And we have no history on these horses, and people don't seem to understand that. It's like when you save a horse from a kill-lot, you get nothing. You get no history. But at least for Odin, we were able to figure out what his registered name was because he is an off-the-track thoroughbred, so his lips tattooed. So he ran in 38 races. He won $108,000 or $180,000. And then someone just kind of threw him away. He turns 21 this year, and he just has a load of medical issues. Just he can't handle heat. He can't handle cold. He can't do any of this stuff. He chokes. He's allergic to life. And so, but he is Phantom's husband. They are gay lovers, so I have that going on in my herd. And so it's just a very comical thing. But he's just one of those horses that's just like, I want to get rid of you, but at the same time, like, you're part of the herd. You're not going anywhere. This is just your retirement home. That's it. And then the 4th horse that we rescued is Hank. Hank the Tank, big bay. I would say draft horse, but he's not. We did a DNA test, and he came back as some weird South American, like, rare genetic horse. And I think he was an old cart horse from Louisiana or New York, because nothing fucking phases this horse. I could shoot off fireworks next to him, and he would just stand there. So one of the things I like to do is I like to go see what I can do to spook horses to desensitize them, which is great and all, except when you're Lilith and you're desensitized to ropes and nothing really gets you going, and you just stand there like a fucking fool. But for him, like, I can't get him to do anything. Nothing I do desensitize him, and I'll even get a jolly ball and I'll throw it at him and play tag, and he'll just look at me like, what? But he's a big draft horse. He's big, buffy, and he's got arthritis all in his knees. And he's a very strong horse. He's gone through my fence. He's tearing through my fence. He's gone through barbed wire. He's just a fucking idiot, but he's sweet. I mean, dumb as rocks, but a sweet boy. And then the last guy that we rescued that I posted a lot about on my story was Apollo, and he's the one who came in completely starved. Probably 700 or 800 pounds. He has an old ranch horse too, just like Fam. And we're getting him there. I still got to go get him x-rayed. But it really just became, I wanted all these seniors. So now the average horse I think I have is between 18 and 20. And Phantom's the only one that you can't tell what his age actually is. But the others are in their 20s. And I like old horses. I don't have to worry about shit with them. They know what they're doing. They're being horses.
Oh, they're good. They're good. I really enjoyed the horse that I got to work with when I worked at the ranch. She was she's never been bred, but she's just a good working ranch horse, and she was sound trained. Like you could do the leads and do everything, but you could literally just sit in the saddle and make certain whistles or certain sounds.
Oh yeah, and they'll do it.
You could completely work that horse without ever touching reins. It was insane to me. But yeah, I love what you're doing. I really enjoy watching that through the stories. And then you jumped into cows or bulls. I guess I had to use the proper term.
No, they're not. I castrated them. They're not bulls. Nothing here has balls. No.
Oh, so they're steers. You decided to get into steer.
They're all steer. I don't allow balls in this house. Robert can attest to that. I told Robert.
You have a whole room that speaks otherwise, ma'am.
No, they have 2 penises. They have no balls that you can see.
That's not what I'm talking about. They're ball pythons. You have like a whole room full of balls.
They don't count. They don't count.
They're not nice.
They don't count.
They should count.
They don't count. Anyways, so I told Robert the first time I met him, besides saying, like, you're the last guy I'm ever going to date. It's either going to work or it's not. And just, we'll accept it. And he was like, that's fine. So I think the second day I told him, I was like, I just want you to know, if this ever works, I'm going to get cows. And you're going to be okay with that. And he's like, what kind of cows? And I was like, I'm going to get longhorns. I want a Texas Longhorn. I don't get the joke. I want a Texas Longhorn. I told him that from the beginning, and I was like, if I ever have property, even just an acre, I'm gonna get a Longhorn. And so for my birthday last year, I bought Longhorns. I didn't tell him I bought them until after. It seems to be the thing I do. And he's like, why do you look so happy? It's on your birthday. I was like, because I bought Longhorns. And so everyone voted for the white and black horse that we had. I had a little story on Instagram, and I was like, which one do you guys like? And everyone chose the fucking wrong one. So I ended up with this demon steer out here that was a demon for like the first 5 fucking months he was with me. And then we ended up with my good boy, Aang, who has a big arrow on his head after the last Avatar, or the Airbender. People know what I'm talking about. And so the lady was like, I reached out and I was like, I want them just to be pasture pets, pasture ornaments. I want them to look cute in my property. She's like, oh, you want steers? And I was like, is that free? Do you castrate them for free? She's like, oh, yeah, we do. We'll deliver them. And I was like, sold. You don't have to tell me anything else. So that's how we ended up with 2 Longhorns. And we ended up with 2 because the lady was like, you can't just have one. They need a buddy. Side note, you can only have one. They don't need a fucking buddy. But anyway, that's how that lady got me for like $4,500. But I will say we got them. I have halter broke these Longhorns. I have been rammed. I have been kicked. I have been stepped on. I have been thrown. But these fucking Longhorns are puppy dog tame now. And you want to know why? It's because I fucking read Harry Potter to them. All you got to do. That's the answer to life. Read Harry Potter. And every animal will eventually love you enough because they're so tired of your fucking voice. They just will be done. Oh, it's Daddy Chad. Just like that.
Oh, all right. So let's dive on into oh my Lord.
And chickens and turkeys. I'm gonna get a goat at some point. I really want a giraffe.
We'll behave on the fowl. So you have a ranch essentially. You have a working ranch.
It's a working ranch, and I want the land behind my property. Recently came up for sale, and I'd really like to get that extra 25 acres. But Robert said no, so we'll see what happens.
So let's dive. Where did reptiles come into the picture?
I was watching Brian Barczyk's egg cutting videos on YouTube every time I was working out, and one weekend I was just like, Robert, I want to get a snake. And he looked at me like I lost my mind. And I just was like, no, that's a rich. But he was like, hey, you really want a snake? I was like, yeah, I really want to go get a snake. Let's go get a snake. And he was like, what kind of snake? I was like, a ball python. But I don't think I called it a ball python. Like, I think I fucked it up the first time. And he just looked at me like, what? What kind of snake is that? I was like, the thing, the rock. And he was like, I don't know what that is. And so I think he actually Googled like rock python. He's like, we're not doing that. I was like, no, it's the cute one with you boop it. He was like, I don't know what this is. Is this English? And so eventually we finally found out it was the ball python. And so like we randomly this weekend that I just decided I want a snake, Arlington was happening. September 2019, we had looked at MORPHMARKET, or I had looked at MORPHMARKET like a few hours before we went. I had decided I wanted to get a snake from Mike Wilbanks before I knew anything about Mike Wilbanks. And so we go to Arlington and we drive over there. We get there. I have a meltdown probably the first 20 minutes into the show. And like full on autistic meltdown. And if you ever had experienced one or seen one before, like bloodshot eyes, I was crying. I was just scratching myself. Like, I'm pretty sure I still have scars on I was just complete. Robert had me in a corner. He was like, we can just leave. I was like, I gotta get a fucking snake. Like, it was one of those meltdowns, but I was still like determined, like, I gotta get a fucking snake. And so finally, like, I calmed down. It got closer. And we walked the show again. And I couldn't find Wilbanks to save my life, even though he has the whole fucking wall. Like, I was just like, where is he? I'm so stupid. Where is he? And we walked it like 6 times, never found him. And then right as I was about to leave, because I was like, he's not here. There he was. It was just like a light bulb went off. And so I had never held a snake in my life. Didn't know anything about snakes. I knew that I liked them being cut out of an egg because Brian Barczyk made it seem like fun. So I thought that would be fun. And so we're looking at Wilbanks' stuff, and Robert's like, wow, you really want one of these snakes? ooh, let's get a white one. And I was like, fuck the white snakes. They're ugly. And Robert's like, they're cute. I was like, no, they're not. Ugh. And so we kept walking. And finally I saw like this stack of bananas. And I was like, oh, look at that. That looks cool. And so I saw Penny, who's my first snake, who I just made a post about. And so like Will Banks's manager, his facility manager, came over and he was like, can I help you look at something? And I was just like, yeah, can I see this snake right here? So he opened the case and he handed Penny to me. And let's see. Yeah, it's right there in the yellow bowl. Yeah, that's Penny. And so he handed me to him. And Penny is a banana het pied is what he was labeled as in this container of all their snakes. And like, so this dude put the snake in my hand. And like the instant flick in my head of like, oh my God, don't toss this, but I'm scared shitless and I can't move was just like, ah. And so the guy was like, do you want it? And I didn't know how to say no. I can't ever say no. And so I said, yeah. And so he was like, all right, cool. And he just picked it up and he went, and Robert was looking at me. He was like, do you really want a snake? I was like, I can't say no. I already bought it, Robert. And so then, like, if we get the snake, I pay for it. And then I look at him. I was like, I have a dumb question. He's like, there's no such thing as a dumb question. And I was like, you haven't met me yet. But, like, what do they eat? Like, can I get this here? And he literally went like this. And he was like, over there. You're going to want to go get rats. And so I went over there. And I was like, I just bought a snake. I have no idea what I'm doing. And that's how, well, Hardy's different. He's gay. But... so we went over and we got all the
we made a deal that you wouldn't try to get me canceled today.
Are you not gonna get canceled? Hardy can't cancel anything. I'm gonna hear about it in my DMs. Don't worry about it. And so we went and got everything set up for this snake, and then Penny grew up in like a tank. And if you scroll all the way down to my Instagram feed, like you can see Penny's original setup and stuff. And I had it decorated and I had the walls blacked out. He did really great, did it? And then I was just like, you know what? I feel like I could do a breeding thing. And Robert, again, looked at me. He was like, you want to do what now? And I was like, I want to breed snakes. And so I went and immediately bought 2 bamboos and then this yellow belly pastel pied that I just posted a photo of 2. And then this is like before I decided I was going to be like a full-time breeder. I wanted to do it. And I didn't know anything about genetics or morphs. Like I thought if I bred my bamboo to my other bamboo, I could make a super bamboo and it looked super cool, not knowing it would make a white snake. And I was just, and so I think Brandon, B1 and B2, I think B2 actually sat me down. And I coined their names, by the way. I originally called them B1 and B2 because they kept saying Brandon and they kept talking to each other. And I didn't know which one was Brandon. And I didn't want to say I didn't know which one was Brandon because I just knew them by their usernames, words of a different color, and oodles and noodles. So when someone said Brandon, they both responded. And finally I was like, Brandon. And they both looked at me and I was like, oh, B1, B2. And that's just how it started. And so I was talking to him before and he's like, if you really want to become a breeder, you need to understand genetics. And I thought, oh, that sounds like something my dumb ass ain't could ever figure out. He was like, you'll do fine. And then you have Robert over here showing me like what a Punnett square is. And he's like, didn't you learn this in school? And I was just looking at him like, no, I know how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. That's as far as I got, buddy. I didn't do this shit in here. I had earth science. I learned about clouds. 3 years. But so
that's me. Just so everyone knows, that comment right there, that's totally me. I will never forget a face. But I forget names constantly.
Oh yeah, I'll know your Instagram handle better than your real name, and I think that's just the gamer side of me. Like when people come up to me at shows, I'm like, "What's your Instagram?" So sorry, I don't know who you are, but if you tell me your name, I might. And so that's how it happened. So then in 2020, I started actually becoming like, I decided in like March 2020, I was like, I'm gonna do this ball python breeder thing. I'm gonna take it seriously. So I started buying snakes, and I started really looking at genetics. And I was on the MORPHMARKET community forums a lot, and they have this really nice display of like what things go together that are lethal or what causes kinks. And like they had this breakdown for me, and so I started really looking at it, and all of a sudden like I came across the European side of MORPHMARKET, and that's really what kind of sent me down this rabbit hole.
So that's what started it.
That's what started. Well, so before I got all into the imports, Robert was like, maybe you should buy a breeder female and see if you can actually do it. And I was just like, no, I don't need to do that. Of course, like come February, or not February, September, October, I go and buy a breeder female from BSR auctions. And I get a spinner blast. And I had heard about spider and the whole debate with spider. I give two shits what your opinions are on spider. I have a spider that doesn't wobble, and I breed her, and that's my personal choice. And anyone who doesn't like that can suck my beep. And other than that, if you have a spider that wobbles, just don't breed it. It's simple. Do moral compass. Anna doesn't have one. It's over here. But if you have one, stay away from me. Okay? I don't like your little morals. God. But so I got her, and so I had all these snakes lined up. I had like 6 females. I bought them in 2020. I raised them up. I didn't know people actually started breeding snakes at like 11 or 1,200 grams. Like I know people were like, that's the mark where you can start it. And I looked at my snakes that were 11 or 1,200 grams. I was like, y'all look too skinny. Y'all need some meat on your bones. I need you to be plump for those men and their hemipenes, because you're going to get 2 penises. And so, like, I started feeding them and stuff. So I don't really start my females. I don't start breeding them until they're like 1,500 grams, going into 1,600 grams, because I want big, chunky women. Well, so I got them up to that size. And so starting in 2021, I officially became a breeder. And then I had 6 clutches. My spinner blast produced, just trust me. I know that feeling. So my spinner blast actually produced a beautiful clutch of orange dream something. I don't know. You have to go to my website and figure out what she was. But whatever she produced, like I had no babies left. I sold everything. That was my first clutch that like you immediately sold like that. And I was just like, well, shit, should I have kept them? Like, what the fuck? But it was just one of those cool things. And so I bought Aussie Boy's original OD pinstripe from 2012 that he had. And I bought her I bought her like 2 weeks before I got laid off, and I put a deposit down on her, and then I got laid off, and I said, Aussie, I just got laid off of work. I still want this girl. Is there a way I can push like my payment plan further back? And he was like, I understand completely, no problem. And the way Aussie treated me during this whole transaction is the reason why I treat my customers the way I do now. Like, if something happens and pops up in your life and you tell me, I will work with you. I understand that, because Aussie showed me that grace period as I was starting out, and I'm still a fucking nobody, but I was even more of a nobody then. And he treated me respectfully, and he's like, I got you, I understand. And then he shipped me all this cool fucking swag with this snake. I was like, yeah, boy, or something. But it was just because of how he treated me during that is how I treat my customers moving forward. And it was just really cool. Well, she laid for me that first year. She scared the shit out of me too. She's 4,000 grams. And I had some really cool snakes with that. But it was just like, she was the first snake to go for me. And I had my first clutch, and I was losing my shit. And I was just like, oh my God, I produced babies. And Robert's looking at me like, the snake did all the work. What are you fucking talking about? I was like, I have a clutch. I'm a real breeder. Blah, 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 blah. I can do it. And Robert then started asking me questions about snake sex. So I was like, I don't know. Go to YouTube. I don't film this, okay? Blah, blah. Anyways, so after seeing that and having my first clutch, I was like, I can fucking do this. So then, like, I nailed down into it. And so, like, after, I think it was literally that night after I put the clutch in the incubator, I was on MorphMarket, and I went to the European side, and I started just looking at genes I had never heard of. And then I wasted all my money, and that's how it went downhill.
So obviously something stuck out with the imports to you, or the names, or something. There was something that stuck out once you started diving into the European imports. What was it that really made those stand out versus everything you could have got here locally?
Okay, so my first 2 imports that I brought over was Twister and Orbit. And originally, I was buying my twisters from the founder of Twister, Karsten, who is snakeguy.de. And my original purchases didn't go through with him. It's because COVID happened and he didn't know about shipping, and just all this shit started going down, and he was very cool about it. And he refunded me my money, but I still was like, I need Twister. And so Twister was the first gene I ever came across that I was just like, wow, this is what I fucking want. And I was like, if I'm going to be known for something, it's got to be this. What happened?
Go ahead. No, just go ahead. I'm pulling up
Twister.
Trying to pull up a Twister for you.
And so I saw that snake, and like I told Robert about it. And the first twisters I was gonna get from him was a Twister Leopard Pastel, and then a Twister Cinnamon. And of course it fell through, but I was like, that's a gene I'm gonna get. And then the other gene I came across was Orbit.
This one?
No, that's a gargoyle. Oh my god. Look at that blue check mark next to my name. Y'all know I'm famous.
Which one?
I don't know if I have a Twister pulled up.
Tell me when
go in. No.
I should have had you send pics.
You should.
One of the few people that actually like update regularly.
Let's see. Oh, that one right there. Top left. So, go back. Exit out. We'll just do the full photo. The second one, bottom left.
This one?
Yeah. So that is the Super Twister. So that is the original Super Twister that was produced by Karsten when he bred. That's the first Super Twister ever. And so I actually imported her in December of 2022. So she's actually here in my collection now. And she's going to my puzzle boy. So Twister is this nice granite gene, but when you start gene stacking it, it just destroys the pattern. And it's very sick to see, like in leopard. If you do a leopard Mojave Twister that I have, like, it's just nasty. And it just makes me excited. And I know how else to explain it. It's just, I get overjoyed. Like, it's almost as good as an orgasm. Like, that's my gene. That's what I want. I need it. Anyways, Twister was the gene I wanted to be known for. And then I didn't get any snakes. And so I saw Orbit, and Orbit was kind of like one of those like one-off snakes that I decided to bring over. I honestly brought Orbit over first because it wasn't in the US. No one had ever heard of Orbit. And I was like, I'll be the first person with Orbit. So I brought it over, and it was a Mojave Orbit, and he just started changing color on me. And I reached out to the guy I got him from, and I was like, hey, is this normal? And he's like, oh yeah, that's what Orbits does. They have this nice reddish clay undertone. And I was like, why is this not? Yeah, so that's the baby I have currently right now. So I was just like, why was this not said before? Like, why is this not on Orbit's page about it having this red undertone? And he goes, it's not something here in the UK that we really care about. We just want to know about what happens to the patterns. We don't care about the colors. And I was like, oh my God, y'all are dumb. Y'all are ridiculous. And so this dude kept having this nice red earthy undertone to him. So I finally paired him to a deep purple passion, and the snakes that came from him I was like, oh my God, this is fantastic. And this is one of the first Orbits that Brandon B2 actually came over and got from me. And he got one because I kept making him drive down from Oklahoma to help me sex and ID snakes that I had. I was just like, I need help. Show Robert how to pop snakes because I can't do it, but help me. And so he'd come down, and finally that's how he got an Orbit. And it was just cool to see what Orbit does. So Orbit, as the name suggests, it makes little orbs on the snake. And it can also make question marks and hearts and stuff. But I think the real beauty of Orbit is it keeps that natural red clay color. And people don't seem to understand that. So it's kind of like this nice little hidden gem. And finally, people are starting to see it from different examples of Orbit that's out there now. but it depends on where you get your orbit from, because it was line bred by Philip, who's the founder of Orbit. And if you get a really nice quality example of Orbit, then the color actually stays. If you get a shit example, just like anything else, the quality will suck and it will be like a Walmart TV. Yeah, that's me. I produced that.
Beautiful.
But see that nice little rich, oh my God. And so then I dumbly was like, I'm going to get out of Orbit. I don't want to work this, blah, blah, blah. And so I sold almost all of my Orbits to the same guy. And then I had this last clutch come out that you just showed that baby of. And I was like, I can't fucking get out of Orbit. This thing is sick. And so I got drawn back into it. After I had sold everything. Sold my brooder male, sold all my females. Just got out everything I imported, I got out of. And I sold it. And then I had this clutch happen. And I was just like, I'm fucking stupid. I'm fucking dumb. Why did I do this? And I'm probably going to have the same reaction when I get out of Furrow completely. And then someone's going to make something sick. I'm going to be like, I'm fucking stupid. But I'm standing to my guns with that one.
So at this point, you're 3 years in. You've brought in a majority of imports. Like everyone knows you for bringing in the imports and working them here locally, not only for the pattern, but to find the different definitions in color, which is drawing people out. I'm trying to find, butcher this freaking name. The N one.
Nyala?
Is it Nyala?
Nyala.
I don't know why I want to put
not
a Y
Nyala.
in there.
It's
like
Nyala.
Even though there's a Y.
It's
I'm trying to find one real quick.
I do like that though. I like when people come to me and they ask me questions about imports, or they'll reach out and be like, do you know anything about this snake or this gene? And usually I've heard about it and I'll give them my honest opinion about it. But it's really cool when people start coming to me about these new imports that I have, and there'll be other people who have them for sale, but they'll come to me directly because they're like, I like the quality that you have, or I like the example that you have. And I don't think a lot of people know this about me, is that I will pass up on snakes or wait on snakes until I see an exceptional quality. So most of everything I have in my racks is an exceptional quality of a snake.
I can't get you to buy something.
What? That's not because you don't have imports. You gotta have imports. That's what it is. And Oreos. You always bribe me. That's my baby. That one's a cunt though, for real. Attitude. Swear to God. They're all assholes. All Nyalas. If you don't want a snake that has a personality like 666, don't get a Nyala. Or do until they're 200 grams. And then they're
See, that's what everyone said about Puzzle too, but my Puzzle's a big chicken.
No. These have worse personalities than Puzzles. For real. Like, Trophy Exotics came to my house to pick up their Nyala that they picked up for me from that clutch. And, like, I was showing them the other female that sold, and the girl who bought the other female was like, do you think she's, handleable? And I was like, yeah. When she hits 200 or 300 grams right now, she's a little spitfire. So I pulled them out to show them the difference between the two of them, like the head blushing, because theirs was a little bit more orange on the head. And this little fucker just like went up like a cobra and was just following them. So like, I've never seen a ball python do that. I was like, it's because it's a Nyala. It's a dick. That's a demon snake right there. Okay. They're all assholes. I'm always tempted just to sell them on sale completely all the time because I don't want to deal with them. They're just mean. They look at me and they make me want to cry. Okay. They're judging me. They're like, I don't fucking like you. Why'd you bring me into this world? I was like, I'm so sorry. Assholes. God. So mean.
So outside of just breeding, you've kind of jumped onto more of a vending, at least for Arlington. I don't know how far. I know you've done a couple outside of Arlington, right? You've at least gone.
I've only done Arlington. I go to other shows and I go, ugh. And then I just do Arlington. And I only do Arlington because I've vended, and so I still have my spot. And that's the only reason why I do Arlington, is I have my spot and I don't want to lose my spot. But the other shows I go to, I'm just like, I don't want to compete with little flying squirrel. What are these? Little, it's not bush babies. What am I thinking?
Sugar gliders.
Yeah, man. If you put me next to one of those fucking tables, I'm going to buy all of them. Like, Robert was like, you need to walk away. Okay, you can't get that. You can't have a pig. I don't know what that little wombat shit is, but you can't have that either. I was just like, that would be great on the farm. He's like, no, I'm gonna get a lemur at some point. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna get a lemur, and he's not gonna do anything about it. They're for sale in Texas.
I feel so bad for Robert.
Don't feel bad. He knows what he signed up for. I said, this is the greatest good you're ever gonna get, and it comes with a lot of crazy. And he said, okay, I guess.
That's fair.
It's true.
So you only do Arlington. We've talked about your how do I say this? Your opening experience to vending Arlington a few times, especially after you pushed me to vend my first Arlington. You're just like, oh, I can't go anywhere near what mine was. So really for those that have not heard this, I'm sorry, I have to put you on the spot. Can you share what your first vending experience was like?
So my first vending experience was like, I had no snakes. Okay. I sold artwork and I sold ASFs. My ASFs decided for the first time in their life, they were going to chew out of their tubs at Arlington Saturday morning, right as the show was opening. And then they were going to escape still. And during a YouTube video interview live broadcast, because I was booth neighbors with Justin. So Justin was here and I was behind Justin. And then there was a wall because you put Anna in the wall. Okay. So rats escape. Alyssa from Full Throttle and her crew came over and were picking up these rats before I even got there at Arlington. So the doors opened Saturday at 7 a.m. I didn't get there till 7:30. I was still driving. And I get over there and I have all these people at my booth. I'm like, what the fuck are these people doing? And then I see Alyssa with rats. And I was just like, oh my God, my rats escaped. And I was like, just pack it up. Just pack it up. Let's go. No one knows I'm here. Just take it on the side. Just fucking bolt. We don't have to do with any of this. But I get over there. Alyssa's chill about it. Her and her friends are helping me. We get the racks up. I send Robert to Lowe's. I'm like, you gotta go get your fucking racks. I can't fucking do this. I'm gonna freak out, blah, blah, blah. And so, of course, first show ever, I'm right next to Justin. And this is before I became Canova and stuff. And so the rats escape. I don't think Justin knew the rats had escaped, though. And prior to the rats escaping, Friday as they were setting up, something may have happened to their, what is it? What's the big banner? I didn't do it, okay? Robert did it. Something might have happened to it where it almost fell on them. It didn't. They were fine. But that was not my fault. The fault was when Justin was doing some fucking live interview or something. He sees a rat and he picks it up and he goes, hold on one moment. And he opens the curtain. He goes, does this belong to you? And my dumbass goes, I've never seen that before in my life. And I just try to walk away, even though I have a rack of rats right next to me. I was just like, this is so fucking embarrassing. So then that show ends. I do well. I sell art. Yay. Next show comes. I'm behind Justin again, okay? Because terrible twos always happen. Second show happens. His lights get taken out. Not my fault, okay? Well, I wasn't even present. Still get blamed for it. His thing almost falls over on him again. He just has a little bit more of electrical issues. Never again. Third show, I'm never behind Justin again, okay? I know I'm on the other side of the venue now. I'm not allowed to be next to him, I guess. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if I got the stepkid curse or what, but that second show where I terrorized him, and I kind of think on Sunday, at this point I was like, I'm just gonna terrorize Justin. I don't even fucking care anymore. I'm just gonna go at it. And so I think after that second show, I got put on some banned list, and they're like, she can't fucking be next to us. I think Justin was like, Brian, she needs to fucking go. Okay. You need to boot her somewhere else. And so they put me behind now, Troy and John and JSA and stuff. And I'm in my same spot now for the last 4 shows, and Bob's at the end. And as you can see, there have been no issues over there. Okay. As you can see, it wasn't me. I wasn't causing any of the issues. It was Justin. But if you do go to Arlington, you'll see that there's no one behind Justin anymore. They don't take the chances, okay? You don't mess with the king for some reason. He's fine. But I did not terrorize him. It was not me. I didn't do it. It was Robert and the forklift driver. I wasn't even there. Those weren't my rats. I don't know where they came from. I've never seen that before in my life. But it was just so horrible. And so every time people are like, I don't know if I can vent, I'm like, you can't fucking do worse than what I could. Okay? Live rats escaping, Justin picking up during an interview, you lying to Justin, his power get taken out. You can't do much worse. It's fun. And I have to laugh
outside of terrorizing Justin.
That's the best part.
What's been your favorite moment so far at a show?
I think my favorite moment is actually seeing CJ and Saz, Black Tie Royals and Swamp Water Exotics, and them taking me out to go get food. If you feed me, man, I am your friend for life. You just be like, Anna, let's go get food. I'm down. I don't even care who you are. Be some strange ass man comes up to me. Anna, you want to go get food? Bye, Robert. Go get food. I've done it before. I've just walked out with some strangers, and he's just like, where are you going? Right, and this is why Robert has like one of those little locators on me now. He's like, I don't know where you're going. I don't trust you. You don't know who you're talking to. He can come up, he'd be like, who are you talking to just a minute ago? I was like, I have no fucking idea, but they knew who I was. He's like, do you not understand the dangers you're in? I'm like, no. I've gotten to someone's car before, had no idea who they were. Just got in, and we went to go have sushi. Still have no idea who the dude's name was. I just got into a random car with 4 people. Let's go get food. Hardy's taking me out to dinner. He took me and Robert out to dinner. See, when you get Robert on board, like, you're golden in the circle or in the triangle. And Robert was even so tired of my shit one Arlington. He was like, Saz and CJ, you take her. I'm done. I can't do this. He's never let me go to a show without him. And he's like, I'm just fucking tired. I can't do this anymore. This is the same snakes. I don't know what y'all are looking at. Robert doesn't know the difference in morphs. All he knows is that he likes white snakes with blue eyes, and he's just retarded. I'm like, we can't know. No more white snakes, Robert. I know people like white snakes. I know that's just like me just crucifying myself now. I hate them. Okay? They look little beady eyes looking at you. Just like that. It's just like when a hatchling gets my hand.
It brings so many people into the industry, though. Like, literally, that is probably one of the
highest. That is the pet. That people love bells. I hate bells. I hate them. I hate them with a pack. I don't even know why. Like, I think it's the snake from Adam and Eve. And I'm like, that's a little trickster right there. Don't fall for it, Adam. Don't do it, Eve. It's a little white snake. You always see it. Just like that.
So at the 3-year point, what would you say your goals moving forward right now are?
Oh my God. My goals at my 3-year mark. I don't know if I have any. I don't like setting up myself for goals because I already strive too much on myself to do better than what I thought I would. And so when I make goals and if I don't hit them, like, I take it out on me extremely hard. And I have one of those personalities where, like, I want to be perfectionist and I have to do it well enough. And I always have people, I'm growing up, I always have people say I can't do something. So Robert's dumbass mistake was, you can't be a ball python breeder. You can't make this into a business. Now look at him. He was like, yeah, you can go buy that. Go buy that. Do you need that? Do you need this? How can I assist you? I wish he would say that, but he doesn't do that. So his mistake was saying I can't do it. So now I'm doing it. The approval point. This is a whole long point thing. And then one day I'm going to be like, okay, I did it. I'm done. And he's be like, no, you're not. I think my goal, though, if I had to make a goal, would be I'd really like to have these Japan snakes get exported. I've had them now in my racks since November, and I really want them to go. And so I sold my first snakes to sell to Japan in my 2nd year last year, and I just want to experience what it's like to export a snake. Yeah, Earl's parties are the best.
I love them. I haven't made it the last couple just because of things going on, but
you're also driving a long ass time. Texas is a big state. It can't be that big. I love when people say that. We go on vacations in Texas because it's that fucking big. We don't even leave the state.
How far do you drive now?
It's 2.5 hours for me to get to Arlington. And it's not that bad. I do it almost every other weekend. I drive 2.5 hours. And I love it when Europeans are like, oh, I can't drop your snake off at DDI. It's 23 minutes away. I'm like, fucking what? Are you kidding me? I would drive for you. You don't even know what driving is, pansy. God, it pisses me off.
A half day, man. A half day for me.
That's just ridiculous. I couldn't do it. I'd fly. Honestly, I would just fly.
Can't. I vend now. I can't. I mean, I could, but I got nowhere to send all this stuff before.
You send him to Earl. You send him to me. I'll bring him to you.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Go up to Tyler and I'll take 20 down. That's how it's gonna happen.
Oh, bad. That's really not a bad idea. So let's we're hitting kind of that moment before we wrap up. I want you guys to know I'm really hoping that Bob and oh my god, I brain dumped. Oh my god.
It's called a brain
Brian,
fart.
Bob and Brian really listened to my request. So you guys don't know, like you see Cruz kind of Arlington, right? And Anna was one of the people that, well, actually the main person, I'll put it out there, the main person that pushed me to a table. And I've put this out before because she was like, why don't you vend yet? And I was a smart ass. And I said, well, if a table ever popped up, I would definitely jump on it. But there's not going to be a table for years. I guarantee it. Well, what was it, like a day or two later?
The next day.
Yeah. The next morning, Tony Thomas puts it up and she's like, hey, John. And I was like, I get it, Anna. Hold on.
Hey.
So we take it in. So me and my buddy finally have permanent tables at Arlington. And then we decided, well, Anna forced this on us. So we're just going to go become that pest to Anna that she was to Justin when she started. And so now we put in a request to be on either side of Anna so we could just run like an entire lengthwise table and just make a mockery and like start throwing stuff over the curtains. And we're going to have fun with Anna come this Arlington. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. So if Bob or Brian are watching, hey, can you please make that happen for us? I would love to pester Anna for an entire, well, at least an entire Saturday.
It is. I will only be there for Saturday, this next one. And then adios, fuckers. I'm going to Alaska. Peace out.
If you can hit one thing before this year's done, what would be like the ultimate culmination for you this year?
I want to hit another visual monsoon. Another one. As people say that, hear it. Another visual monsoon. That it lives. I don't want it to die. That'd be nice. It's not going to happen. It would be nice. Okay. So if I had to choose one that actually happened, it would be a blackhead, red jean, ringer jean, Mojave twister.
And twister's the one that you said brings in that kind of reddish.
No, that's orbit.
Or that's orbit.
So twister is the one gene I wanted to be known for in the U.S. and I'm going to be known for it because I have the best examples, in my opinion.
There you go.
That's right.
One of the things I like to do is leave anyone that listens with this with potential advice. Maybe they've heard, maybe they haven't, but for those coming in or those that are just getting started like us, like not saying that we know what we're doing. We're very much so still feeling the trial and error of our ways. But one thing that you would like to pass on to others is what?
Ooh. Never be afraid to go after what you like. If you start doing shit just because you want to make money or you know it's selling or it's a popular combo, you're going to fucking fail. You have to do what you like yourself or you're going to get burnt out. You're not going to do well. And I like doing the crazy shit. I hate recessives. Fucking hate clowns. I hate pies. I hate desert ghosts. I hate xanthics. Fucking hate recessives, but I have to have them because I know they sell. but I'm going to add some sick shit to it that I'm going to eventually maybe like it. Maybe. I make no promises, but I'm going to do it because I'm going to fucking just
That's a lie.
crush everybody.
No, where's it at?
Yeah, let's
Can't
see.
say that because
You go to
I'm
my
calling
Twister
you out
cloud
right now. Ba-doom.
What about it?
I will never get tired of this. If you hate recession so much.
It's a beautiful snake. It's imported too. People are gonna come for me in my DMs. Ooh, don't be afraid to import. There's a whole blog post about it on my website. It's not hard.
Speaking of,
and if you think so, you're just dumb. I'm just gonna say
still
that now.
owe you that.
What? Oh, my blog post?
Oh,
yeah. Wow. I'm on your podcast and you never fucking filled out my.
Well, it took 3 months to get you to get internet just so you could come on here.
I have Starlink. I can't help it.
I will have it done tomorrow. No, I won't.
No, you
I'll
won't.
have it done by the end of next week.
No, you won't. I'm gonna start hounding you for that too. I'm gonna be like, take away his table, Brian. Hold it hostage.
Oh man. So for those that don't know, which hopefully everyone knows by now, how do we get a hold of you, for one?
Never.
Well, never.
Don't.
Oh my.
I hope it's a kid. Is it? It's gonna be a kid. Aww, look at those curls. Look at that. It's so cute. Look, John's on dad duty. Isn't that cute? Let's see. Get a hold of me. I guess if you really want to get a hold of me, Instagram.
Instagram?
Oh, Instagram is the best bet. There is that phone number I have posted, but you go straight to voicemail. You got to text that number because I don't fucking answer phones.
There you go.
Yeah, Instagram.
Right. Well, I'm gonna, y'all, give Miss Anna some love. I'm gonna pop you in the green room real quick, and we're gonna wrap this up. Okay?
No.
No one likes it raw. Y'all, that was horrible. She's cracking up. I hope y'all enjoyed Anna, dear friend. I really enjoy having her as part of my little crew, I guess you would say, within the industry. She's very helpful. She's really pushed me to do a lot of what I'm doing now. So I hope you guys have enjoyed that. I hope you enjoy her shenanigans. Make sure you watch her stories for like the best shenanigans. Arvin, there will definitely be a part 2. It's probably going to have to happen after I do the blog though, because I hate typing stuff out, and she's going to make me type out like this 40 questionnaire. She was like, hey, do you want to do a blog post? And there's only a couple of questions, but there's like, nah. She said there's only some key ones. So I really do have to do that. I really do have to. Anyways, this Monday will be our last pre-recorded Outside the Clutch from the Arlington show. I got the opportunity to sit down with Brian Cusco, which is another very dear friend to me. I'm really excited to show that one to y'all. And then we're going to have to go into vlogs until we get to another major show and I can shoot another group or we set something up. But we will continuously have Monday videos out. We're actually looking at expanding a little bit beyond that. So keep your eyes open for all of that. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we'll see you next weekend on Outside the Clutch.